Hello everyone and welcome to this legal webinar run by Kaizen Synergy Law Firm. Today we're going to run through the way in which NDIS audits can be made easy. My name is Nihal Samara. I'm the General Counsel and Legal Director here at Kaizen Synergy Law Firm. And I'd like to welcome you all to today's session. Today's session is actually being run from our site based here at the Trobe Law School, where we actually run the Corporate Policy and Legal Compliance Clinic, which has now been expanded to governance, corporate governance, risk, legal compliance, and policy. We are delighted to be running this service and site where we've been doing this for a number of years now. It is a centre of excellence where we do develop a range of resources that are actually open, in this case, to all NDIS providers to access. When it comes to things like NDIS audits, we've been working with organisations for a number of years, for over 10 years now, and actually even before the NDIS standards were there, where we have provided support to disability services in ensuring that services that they deliver are safe and effective. Now, as part of this requirements, one of the common questions that agencies do ask us is what and how do we need to do? What do we need to do in order to make our compliance with the NDIS standards effective? There is a lot of competing information that we find that providers have to access. One of those is clearly looking at things like the NDIS standards and trying to meet those obligations effectively. That being said, a lot of providers do actually try to do this, and often they are just simply confused with the information in terms of what is required and how to actually effectively do this. And look, there are so many stories I can share with you. The reality is that it all becomes way too much. Our law firm has done this where we actually look at the legislation under the NDIS Act and then look at the specific quality standards in order to give agencies like yourselves resources in order to be able to meet all of these requirements. So with that said, let me just log in and I'd like to show you the resources that you do have access to. Now, you will get access to our dashboard and you can simply go to gemba360.com. Here it is here, and you will see this login screen. I will add that if you do have any questions, you can simply click on the chat box on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and this will connect you directly into our legal support desk. Now, on this, simply use the username and password that we will email out to you. And when you log in, what you will see is this screen here. This is our Gemba dashboard, and this is the tool that we provide to all NDIS providers to ensure that compliance with the NDIS standards is made as simple and as easy as possible. Now, this tool gives you all access to the registers, literally every single register that you need, whether it be incident registers, support tracking, comments, compliments and feedback, continuous improvement, facilities registers, risk registers, HR system as well, and also access to policies and procedures. It is your complete one-stop place to manage all of your NDIS compliance obligations under the NDIS standards. And with if I jump in, this is actually one of the live sites, and we've been given permission to share this, is we have, for example, the audit report. And this is where we will usually start. So in here, we have the audit report, and if I bring this up, then this is someone that's going through a midterm audit. We've got exactly what the auditors are looking for, line item by line item, and essentially giving them details of every single policy, procedure, register that they need to see in terms of meeting the standards. Now, often people will say, well, where do we find this information and how do we know that we've got all the right policies and procedures even to be able to access this information? Well, in the Gemba Docs part of the screen, and here we are here, you'll see that we do have access to the sample NDIS policies. And here we actually have individual sections of all of these policy documents and templates that yourselves can use. And it literally covers every single quality standard under the NDIS. And if I go into governance and support, then we've again got all of the individual policies and documents for yourselves to use. Now, this means then that they're not just generic templates, but they're policies specific for your agency. The other part that we find that auditors look for is how are you actually rolling these out to your staff? And on this, you do have, and you can view this, the NDIS e-learning module. The NDIS e-learning module takes all of the policy documentation and then splits it up directly into, here we are here, individual training modules for you to be able to see. And for example, if we click on Provider Governance and Support, here it is here, you can then see, and it's only a few minute videos on every single line item that's in the NDIS standards. And every single line item that's in the NDIS standards has a particular training item and policy documents that's sitting there. So when you come to do your audit report, if I go back to this, you will then see that we've then got individual policies and training across every single item that relevant staff need to complete. What we have from there is the different individual policy areas. So if we're looking at, for example, comments, compliments, and feedback, we've then got the information in here on our register and form to actually collect a compliment, complaint, or feedback, and then complete what information we have. And we've got the action steps on how we're actually going to address this. And we can see this here. So you can see it's not just about collecting the information, it's about what do you actually do to action these. Similar things come into areas like the incident report. And here's the incident report section. And if I needed to open this up, here we are here to complete a new form. We've got the date and the time. And this incident form meets the specific requirements under the NDIS standards. And you've got this here too. And quite simply, whether I select, is it a general issue? Let's say no. Does this involve a medication issue? Yes. Does it involve staff? Yes. Is it a behavior of concern? Well, then this will accordion the form up or down depending on the questions that I answer. And then if I scroll all the way down, it'll actually tell me, does this involve any of the specific following? And is this then become a reportable incident? Yes or no to the NDIS. So I've got those questions answered. By doing it and keep completing it in here, the auditors can simply access your general information from here and mark that you've got it. And this is something that we've got set up for auditors to be able to access if you like them to. And you can simply add an auditor in to access your dashboard and then kick them out when you're done. So essentially, this tool gives you all of your reporting requirements from an NDIS reporting site to meet the standards. The other part is that the HR module then covers all of your HR reporting. So things like working with children checks, NDIS check, police checks, and you can then place those into My Profile in here. And we've got those details of the different sections and licenses and reminders to make sure you meet all the HR requirements for your personnel within your agency. So You can see right across this whole dashboard from being able to load your information in, and this is your portal. You do have access to this by simply attending the webinar, and this gives you access to the demo version of this. And importantly, the resources that come out of this is something that when you look at it, it means then that you can do your self-assessment, you meet the obligations. If you've got questions, you can ask us these directly here. And quite simply, it makes your compliance with the NDIS standards incredibly easy for you to access. Now, if you do have any questions, by all means, please reach out to us. You can do so here, either by our 1300 360 360. We will email you and give you a call today to see if you did have any questions following today's webinar. And you can reach out to us or certainly visit us at the Trobe Law School, where we do run the Governance, Risk and Legal Compliance Centre. I'd like to thank you for joining us today and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.